Hello everyone. I am redoing my video because the one that I had done originally was so janky and blurry you couldn't see it. So this is the second attempt. Hopefully this will go well. What I have made for you today is my newest design team project, and this is for the rubber buggy. They have some awesome collections there. What I really like is they carry a lot of the foreign collections that we don't see much of here in the States. At any rate, I did use the Steam Time collection by Lexi Designs. I also used just a little bit of the Stamperia Clockwise and the Stamperia Alchemy. The Alchemy I used for these small little tags that I'll show you, but the main papers on the front and the back and the base are all from Steam Time by Lexi Designs. Again, you can find these over at therubberbuggy.com. Check it out. She has several very cool collections. What I have made is a triptych. This is a 3-panel piece that is put together so that it flows across the 3 panels. I will do my best to try to keep this in focus. I hope it does. So at any rate, let me kind of go over a little bit and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I used a lot of things I had in my stash. This is kind of a steampunk piece. I have never done a steampunk piece, but this would be my rendition of one. I added on this first panel, I did use some of Tim Holtz's people, and I had some markers. I've had this set of markers for, oh my gosh, over 20 years. I store them laying on their side in their case, and they are as good today as they've ever been, especially when I first bought them. But I used those to add a little bit of color here on my people, and I'm going to raise this so you can kind of see. Can you see the color on her bow and on the ballerina in the center, on her little hat, and on the boy with his dog? Oh, wrong way. You can kind of see I did on his bow tie. I put a crown on him, of course. He's the king there with his dog. And on these pieces that would have a glass front, I did use glossy accents to make this look like a glass front on this clock, as well as on some of these other pieces that should be glass, of course. So I added the glossy accents so that they appear to be glass on these as well. In the center, the little boy, he's sitting on top of an hourglass, so of course I did use it on that as well. I added wings to my girl here, and again have some color on her outfit, and I have popped a lot of this stuff up because I really like dimension. I went to Tractor Supply because I wanted to get some washers or some hardware to incorporate, and I did find these great big washers and some of these small ones too. I must have looked lost because I had one of the guys that works there came over and asked if I needed help, and I said no, I'm just looking to get some of these washers, and he said, well, if you tell me what you're going to use them for, I can help you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to use them for a scrapbook project. And he just looked at me and he said, I have no idea. And I'm like, that's okay, I'm good. At any rate, I did pick up these big ones and these smaller ones, and these are like a brass color, so I thought they worked well with this overall layout. And I went ahead and glued these down, and these also hold these little very cool tags. This says mystery, creativity, and life. These actually are from the Stamperia's Alchemy collection, but I thought that was kind of a clever tag holder right there. And behind the dancer and the kids on the bottom. These are also some very cool tags. I thought those worked perfectly with this collection. And then I had that I had gotten at an antique auction, a box of stuff, and inside there were some pocket watches that no longer worked. Some didn't have the watch face or anything, so I did use this empty one, and I went ahead and added some little flowers that I had that looked kind of old. And the chain I had in my stash, and I took that off of an old piece of jewelry that came in that box of stuff, and I used some of that chain throughout. So a little bit of it left here I put inside of the pocket watch case. Then I had these very cool old glasses that were also in this collection of stuff, and so I took the earpieces off and I twisted those, and this is one of the earpieces. The other one I have over here, and this is like a pull for this tag. So I wanted to utilize everything on the glasses. Underneath there is a sentiment that says time machine. I've used a lot of the sentiments that came in this collection. This says make a wish, this says catch the moment, and there's others on the back side which I will show you shortly. So I just like how this flows, and again, this is the first time I made anything even remotely close to a steampunk project. So I hope it looks all right for everybody. On the center panel, here's another 3 canvases. These are small ones. These are 2.5 by 2.5, and I put these together. So it's a smaller triptych, if you will. And I added some things to pop up on here, and also these 3 panels are also popped up to give this some dimension. I fussy cut these things, and again, these are goggles, and you have light bulbs here, and you have another pocket watch here with a flower inside. And these I did use the glossy accents to give them that glass look. The chain, again, this is some more of the chain that I used in this first panel, and I used some of the chain as pulls on these stationary tags. And there is these, I'll tell you, will hold a lot. This pocket has a lot of stuff in it. So look at all these tags. And this, again, this is from the actual collection, and I thought this was pretty cool too. And like I said, that's the second piece that goes to those glasses. So this would hold really a whole lot more than what I've actually put in here. On this panel as well, again, I made the pocket, and I have a boy sitting here, and he is sitting on top of this hourglass, and I added wings. I had some metal wings in my stash, and I thought that would look pretty cool on this guy. On this one, I forgot to say I had this crown in my stash, so he has a tilted metal crown up here. Perhaps with the tilt, I wanted to show that he wasn't quite as perfect as he thought he was. And on this last panel, these tags are from the collection, and I went ahead again and I put the glossy accents on the goggles, the eyeball, and the hourglass. I used some of the chain so that it flowed across all 3 panels. It's the same chain, so I wanted to keep everything so that it did flow. I have some of the glass microscope pieces, and I went ahead and catch the moment is the sentiment. I put that down, and then I put this glass slide over the top. I used a fussy cut top hat that I put on the side here, and then below, she actually is on this paper, but I wanted her to be popped out, so I went ahead and fussy cut her on one of the other sheets, and I pop dotted her down so that she's very dimensional. Also on the piece, her picture on this particular sheet, she has a fan, so I pop dotted the fan, I fussy cut it, pop dotted that out. I put a little bit of color on her as well, just so that she stands out a little bit more. This couple, again, these are some of Tim Holt's, the old people old-fashioned antique people, and I thought they went well together, so I made them a couple. I put them on top of this pocket that I made, and I used one of the tags, the large tags from the collection, to make this pocket. This was a brooch that I got in some more of that box of antique-y stuff at that auction, and it says Pride. So I took the pin off of the back and went ahead, and I thought this worked out well on top of the couple. And then their pocket also holds some tags. Very cool. So it was a fun project to do. It was easy to do, and you know, whenever you're doing something that is kind of steampunk, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of the steampunk. It does not have to be perfect. So this stands up nicely, as I'm trying to show, and I want to turn it over and show you the back side, because of course you have to definitely do something with the back side. So here is the back side. Let me get it all in frame. On this panel, again, these papers are all from the Steam Time collection over at the Rubber Buggy. I thought they were just so cool. I honestly just love these papers. They're very, very cool, very soft. They're not, you know, super strong. They're just subtle, but they make such a statement. I put some black cardstock on, and then I had gone ahead and on these top pieces, I tore these so that I could ink everything, and I just thought that that worked out well, especially with this being more or less a steampunk type project. Follow your dreams, and this is another one of the tags I popped up and used the sentiment there. Spread your wings, and this is inspiration. I used that for the centerpiece. Pop those up. I wanted some dimension on everything. I love dimension. This is imagination is boundless, and I went ahead and used a couple more of those tags. So I like how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty cool. It's something a little different, of course. Very strong, very sturdy. So it would be kind of cool, you know, to stand this up and display this anywhere you'd like. These were just 8x10 canvas panels. Super easy. You can find these at, you know, any of your local craft shops, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. All of them carry them. Grab them when they're on sale. Then they're super cheap also. And these little canvas panels, these also are super cheap, and you can find these at those same stores. I will post links below to therubberbuggy.com, and I have tons of pictures on my blog along with a materials list. You can find that at cross-eyed cricket creations.blogspot.com. I'll put a link below for that as well. Thank you for taking time to check out my video. If you would take a moment and subscribe, I would appreciate it. I will be putting up tons more projects, and I will be putting up several more design team projects. So stop back by, check it out, and again, thank you so much for taking time to watch my video.